The first step to changing your life isn't about doing more. It's about seeing more. Awareness isn't passive observation. It's brutal, honest reflection. Most people stay stuck, not because of their circumstances, but because they refuse to look in the mirror. They create a version of themselves based on old experiences, limiting beliefs, and the expectations of others, and then live inside that story like it's the truth. But the truth is, you can't build a powerful life on a blurry foundation. You need clarity. You need to understand how you spend your time, what patterns you run under stress, and what stories you tell yourself when things go wrong. That kind of awareness is confronting. It's easier to escape into distractions than sit with the uncomfortable truth of who you've become. But awareness gives you power. It lets you name what's been controlling your life. And once you name it, you can change it. You can shift from reaction to intention. You stop running on autopilot and start living on purpose. The starting point for unlocking your hidden potential isn't a new job, a new relationship, or even a new plan. It's the courage to ask, is this who I want to be? If the answer is no, then the real work begins. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they've been living inside invisible cages built by limiting beliefs they never questioned. From childhood, you absorb messages about who you are and what's possible for someone like you. These messages about money, failure, success, or identity become unconscious rules that govern your behavior. You stop dreaming big, not because you're incapable, but because some old belief whispers, that's not for you. The breakthrough happens when you challenge those beliefs. Ask yourself, who taught me this? Is it actually true? Have I ever tested it? When you realize most of your limits are learned, not real, you reclaim your power. A belief is just a thought repeated often enough to feel like truth. But you can replace it. Not with blind optimism, but with repetition, evidence, and action. Start small. Prove to yourself that the old belief doesn't hold up anymore. Over time, a new belief takes root, and with it, a new identity. When you change how you see yourself, everything shifts. Your energy, your decisions, your goals. Real transformation begins when you stop asking for permission and start rewriting the rules. You're not limited by your potential. You're limited by what you believe about it. You don't become the person you want to be by just thinking about it. You become them by acting like them, consistently. Identity is not something you discover, it's something you build. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you're becoming. Want to be disciplined? Show up when it's hard. Want to be confident? Speak and move with purpose even when you feel unsure. Stop waiting for the feeling to come first. Confidence, focus, strength, they're not preconditions, they're results. The people you admire didn't wake up with perfect belief systems. They built them through behavior. Start by asking yourself, if I were already the person I want to be, what would I do today? Then do that. Not perfectly, just consistently. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable at first. Transformation always does. But over time, those actions become habits, and those habits shape your identity. Eventually, it feels more natural to stay committed than to quit. That's when you know the shift has happened. Stop waiting to be ready. You'll become ready by doing. When your behavior aligns with your vision, identity becomes inevitable. You're not faking it, you're proving it to yourself every single day. Growth doesn't happen in comfort, it's forged in challenge. Every obstacle you face isn't punishment, it's preparation. Pressure reveals your limits, and in that revelation, it invites you to rise beyond them. When you lean into discomfort instead of running from it, you evolve. The truth is, your greatest breakthroughs come from the hardest moments, not the easiest ones. So stop avoiding the difficult path. Walk it. Let it refine your thinking, your habits, your identity. Resistance is not the enemy, it's the sculptor of strength. Most people retreat at the first sign of friction. But if you can sit in it long enough, breathe through it, and extract the lesson, you'll emerge sharper, deeper, and more resilient. Challenge is not here to break you, it's here to build you. If you can learn to trust the process, not just chase the result, you'll unlock strength you never knew you had. The environment is not just the backdrop of your life. It's the silent teacher that shapes your behavior, mindset, and potential every single day. You might have a strong mentality, but if you're surrounded by procrastination, negativity, or old habits, growth will always be suffocated. If you want to change yourself, you must change your surroundings. The space you live in, the people you regularly interact with, and the small habits you repeat each day. Ask yourself, is this environment supporting the person I want to become? If the answer is no, it's time to make adjustments. Sometimes that means letting go of a relationship that no longer aligns, reorganizing your schedule, changing your workspace, or simply creating a quiet space where you can focus and evolve. When your environment reflects the future version of yourself, you no longer have to force growth. Everything naturally aligns. Discipline becomes a habit, and your goals become a lifestyle. Changing your environment isn't a luxury. It's the leverage that unlocks your true potential. No voice impacts your life more than the one inside your own head. No matter how smart, talented, or visionary you are, if your inner dialogue is filled with negativity, judgment, or self-doubt, you will never dare to go far. The conversation you have with yourself, especially when you fail, when you're tired, or when things don't go as planned, is what separates those who move forward from those who give up. Most of us grow up carrying old narratives. I'm not good enough, I always mess up, or I don't deserve success. But those words are not truth. They are remnants of past experiences, not reflections of your identity. In order to grow, you must learn to replace the critical voice with a coaching voice. Instead of blaming yourself, ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of saying, I've always been like this, try, I'm changing day by day. The difference between the resilient and the ones who quit doesn't lie in talent. It lies in how they speak to themselves when no one is watching. When you learn to use your inner voice to uplift instead of tear down, you start to build a powerful internal support system. That's not wishful thinking. It's mental discipline. And that discipline is the foundation that allows you to face challenges, stay committed to your goals, and live up to your true potential. Time waits for no one. An untapped potential is simply wasted opportunity. Most people don't fail because they lack ability, but because they hesitate, delay, and move too slowly. They believe there's always more time, that tomorrow is guaranteed. But while they wait, someone else is building. Acting with urgency doesn't mean rushing or panicking. It means moving with clarity and commitment. It's the deep understanding that every moment is a one-time opportunity. When you take action, even before you feel ready, you create momentum. That momentum produces evidence, and evidence builds belief. Don't wait until you feel confident to begin. It's the consistent action, day by day, that makes you ready. If you want to change your life, don't spend forever planning. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start now, with the smallest step, but move with the urgency of someone who knows opportunity doesn't knock twice. Urgency is power, and the most successful people live with it every single day. There is hidden potential within you, waiting to be unlocked through conscious action, discipline, and urgency. In everyday life, far too many people fall into a waiting mode, waiting for inspiration, for perfect conditions, for someone to come and change everything. But the truth is, no one is coming to save you. You are the author of your own story. It starts with deep awareness, being honest about where you are, what you believe, and what habits you've allowed to run your life. For the American audience, often overwhelmed by busyness and digital noise, the practical lesson is this: wake up and move. Reassess your environment, your relationships, your schedule, and most importantly, your inner dialogue. Every action you take is a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. Don't wait. Don't delay. The gap between where you are and where you could be is only closed by showing up consistently. Chasing your potential is not a fantasy, it's a responsibility, and the time to act is now.